What's up, YouTube? What's up? Today has been a day, man. Uh, if you're reading the title, you know what the content is gonna be. You know what the video is gonna be about. So, anyways, this is Darkest Scorpio. Subscribe to my channel. Oh man. Hit the notifications. I'll talk about a lot of different things. Lately, I've been covering the whole rap beef in California with rappers. And I'm from Texas. I say that in my videos. That way, people know that I'm not in that. I don't live in that area. I'm not from that area. I'm a fan of music. Sorry. I'm a fan of music, and I happen to be a fan of California music, obviously, and I've already discussed that about, being a fan of Northern Cali music. And obviously, I'm a fan of my own state's music, so, but just a fan of music in general. So I've been talking about it because of just being a fan of that. But, man, today, Trump gets shot at. And I was going to do a video about that, like on my opinion about it, but I decided I want to stay out of politics. Obviously, it's a dangerous world right now that we're living in. It's a dangerous time. People cannot be civil. People are violent. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? And only thing that I wanted to say is I don't condone violence, and I'm against it no matter what side, even if I disagree with, uh, the person who was, almost the victim. But anyways, I don't want to talk about that, even though that is the talk of today. I wanted to talk about the whole Lefty being exposed with about a trans. Okay, Lefty being exposed for being in love or whatever, or trying to get with a transgender or whatever. So that was disclosed just earlier on a channel. I'm gonna put the link down below. Um, the link, you can find the channel and the link in the video where it's explaining it, and it's showing all the comments, the Instagram comments, and even like the voice messages he was leaving and all the stuff he was saying. So we've talked about this before when it came to the whole video about R. Kelly. What was it? R. Kelly, P. Diddy, and SPM. My thoughts of those people in the music business. And I talked about my opinion about The Game and Young Buck, because I like both those rappers growing up, and that they were both alleged to be with transgender uh, individuals. And I will say I'm gonna kind of stick to that same narrative, that that's their business. Like how I said in that video, that's their business. I don't give a fuck. And it's 2024. Nobody cares who's homosexual nowadays or bisexual. People don't care. But I will say that one thing that does, where it does kind of matter, and the reason why I'm even making this video is because of the person. See, if we were talking about Puff Daddy, or we were talking about who's the other one I just mentioned? There's P. Diddy and what was the other guy? R. Kelly. If we're talking about just regular R&B singers or pop stars or country stars, they're not like non-affiliated people, non-active individuals that are not a part of any organization or movement or quote unquote street gang, okay? Then it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't even be talking about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like but the reason why I'm talking about it is because of the individual. Now, the individual Lefty is a part of an organization. He's a part of, he's affiliated, okay? Or active. You know, nobody really knows, but I will say, and like I said, I'm from Texas. This is just my opinion. I will say, and one thing I do want to say is Big Tone from the North. He's a real one. And Baldacci from LA. That's another real one, man. That's a real one. Like I might not listen to Southerner rap, you know, because I like more of the Bay rap. But that dude right there and him, uh, the whole, it was a conversation or comments that were like, who's the face of LA? If it was Lefty or this or that or this or that. You know, honestly, but I'm not from there. I can't speak. But as an outsider looking in and just seeing who's real and who's with the shit and and who's popping and their music is legit and you know, yeah, I would say that Baldacci would be the face of LA, and he's a real one. I mean, real recognizes real. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you're affiliated or active, if you had been active or you're around it, and then you're not a part of it. Like me, I'm not affiliated with nothing. I'm not nothing, but I've been around it. You know, I've known different people from different, you know, groups. Uh, People that are real and then people that are just clout chasers, people that just put on an image or persona or trying to be tough, you know, those are two type of different individuals. And when you're just real and you've been around real people, you know, you lived a real life, you've been through some real shit. No matter you're affiliated or you're a gangbanger or non-gangbanger, you're whatever, just a real individual, real recognizes real. You see other people that are real with it. You see them, you hear them speak, and you just know right off the bat, hey, this one's a real one. You know what I mean? Because I know real. I've been around real. I see somebody talking and how they carry themselves, how they conduct themselves respectfully, with dignity, with respect. They ain't popping off at the mouth. They're respecting, even respecting ops and stuff like that. Respecting uh, their so-called quote unquote enemies or whatever. I do want to say I want to make a video like here pretty soon about what it's like to actually sit down and talk to somebody, sit down, even have a podcast, sit down and actually like converse with somebody who you would consider being not at odds with, but in opposition to politically or socially on issues. Like I'm talking about like an atheist sitting down with a Christian, or I'm talking about like, um, you know, all kinds of spectrums, right wing versus left wing. You know, just this or that, this or that. Uh, you know, opposite views. People just sit down, chit chat, have a nice good laugh, respect one another. I want to talk about that, man, because I think that the world needs more of that. And I think that if we did more of that, we would have more of an understanding of that, man, we're not all that different, really. And the people that we're taught or that we think that we would hate because of their political views or because we think that they hate us, they're really just human beings like us and we're humans. And if we can get along and respect each other, it's actually a really fucking cool thing. And I've been kind of like, uh, I've kind of come across that experience recently, and it has really shed light on, the truth is, there people don't have enemies. Democrats and Republicans aren't enemies. Fascists and non-fascists aren't really enemies. Left wing versus right wing, punk versus whatever, non-punk, like whoever opposes punk, like all kinds of cultures, you know what I mean? Blood versus Crips, all this whole stuff all together, you know what I mean? And mostly political and religious too, like atheist versus Christian, Christian versus Muslim, atheist versus Muslim. You know, that the thing is, nobody is really an enemy. You hate their ideas, or you hate what they stand for, or you feel like you might hate it because you think all in your mind, like, man, they hate me or they hate people like me. But then you realize nobody, they might, but we're all human and we actually have a lot of similarities. And then on top of that, one individual isn't an enemy. Even a multiple group of individuals aren't really an enemy. Y'all might see each other as enemies, but who's really the enemy? That's a big one right there. Who's really there? We don't have enemies. The only entity that would be an enemy is if there was an entity that wanted to divide the people or wanted to divide the world with different religions, different all kinds of bullshit, different gangs, all that. That is in itself is an enemy to destroy the world or destroy people or just capitalize off of the lower people rather than it's the people that are elite. Now, I don't want to just go off on some tangent here. Man, I'm talking about some crazy shit. So let's get back to the topic, man. But I will say I want to make a video about that. That I don't think that, I think a lot different than I used to when I was younger. And you just come to realize certain things when you actually sit down and talk to people who are, I'm not talking about talking to people that are just like you, or talk to people that you work with, or talk to people that are your family members. I'm talking about talking to people that don't have the same religious views, that don't have the same political or social views, and y'all actually peacefully coexist and actually become friends. Become friends, and there's a respect, a mutual respect, and then you realize, man, you realize a fucking lot. But we're gonna talk about that for another day. This whole thing right here about the transgender thing is because our organizations don't condone homosexuality. I was always taught that growing up, and not just from society being like that, or people, groups of people, and religion not accepting homosexuality, but organizations like Bloods, Crips, any kind of, uh, you know, street gang or street organization, uh, so on and so forth. That is not, it is not condoned. It is frowned upon. It is they don't want that. You know what I mean? They're against that. You know, so, and he's a part of a that kind of life. You know what I mean? I am not. You know what I mean? So I don't being somebody who's not a part of anything, and you're not, and you just live your life and you stay out of people's bullshit and out of their business, and you're not with anything or involved in anything. You have the freedom to just be like, oh well, like, I'm not against it. It don't affect me. It don't bother me. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with it. So that don't got nothing to do with me. I have that right to be that way and have that mind frame. That's why I said what I said about Young Buck and Game, that I don't care. And it goes, same goes to Lefty. I don't care if he likes transgenders. That's his business. But the only reason this topic is brought up is because people are talking about it and it's trending, and also the reason why it's like kind of frowned upon or look like it's forbidden in his stance is because of the organization he's tied to. It's kind of like a hypocrisy type of thing. But again, if he was just an outsider, like, or he didn't have nothing to do with that, it wouldn't matter. And in general, like in my opinion, it don't matter. Like I don't give a damn. Because if he had a song that was jamming and popping, or I liked, I would still jam it. I wouldn't give a fuck if he, you know what I mean? But everybody's different. Everybody's different because, that's just my viewpoint. I don't like it. Don't, his business doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? But it's put out there that he was saying he was in love with this, transsexual or whatever, and he was they were showing comments and even the voicemails or voice messages he was leaving about, like, he was begging her for pictures and shit. Okay, so that's his deal. That's his business. He can get down however he wants. That's not my get down, but whatever. You know what I mean? And if I listen to an artist, I like their music, I don't give a fuck what they do in their personal life. Unless like, because we spoke about the SPN thing, unless if it has to do with children or being a sex offender or a predator and stuff like that, then that to me that's to me that draws the line. Like, I can't support anything you do, any of your music, anything about you. Like, you stay over there on the other side of the planet away from me, and I do me. You know what I mean? I don't have nothing to do with that, because that is just a no-go. That and like snitching. But I don't care, because I don't live a certain life to where I'm worried about people snitching on me. So I'm just an average Joe. I don't like 6ix9ine but I didn't like him, whether he was a snitch or not. I think that makes it worse, because he's a hypocrite in his, for what he was supposed to stand for, and then he went against it. He did what he was not supposed to do. But that goes along with the Lefty and homosexual thing, doing things that these organizations don't want you to do, or that they don't condone. Then that's on you. But the it is a difference, because the snitching is not equivalent to, well, it's looked about like just as bad in their eyes. But I would say that your own personal business, or who you have sex with, is like less important than you actually ratting on your homeboys. Like, that's worse. But in their eyes, they probably view it just as bad. You know what I mean? But anyways, I've never liked 6ix9ine. I've never liked his music, but he's not a part of this topic. Going back to Lefty, I don't know his music, and so I'm not really. I should probably learn it if I'm talking about him like I am. He probably does have good music, so I can't say he's got bad music or good music, because I don't really know it. But he's just in the topic because of the whole thing going back and forth with those individuals, those rappers, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, it's not good, like what he did. Like, that's not good, because you know he's there's gonna be people on his, probably his own team or whatever. They're gonna look at him crazy for that shit. I know that I think Baldacci was leaving a comment or something like that, like something about, like, I may be old school, but I like my women with the line in the middle. uh, good one with that one. That was funny. That was a good one. Baldacci's a real one. But maybe he was just, you know, whatever. It don't seem like it was that serious, but I think that won't be good for his street cred, his credibility, and probably not good for his career, only because of the ties to the organization. Had this been like a country singer or pop star, Machine Gun Kelly, if Machine Gun Kelly come out today or yesterday, that he was cheating on whatever her name, Megan Fox, with a transgender, or he was leaving her for a transgender, or he was caught talking to one. Nobody would care. Nobody would give a fuck. And nobody should. You know what I mean? And if people like his music, they're gonna continue to like his music. But he's not preaching or like with some like a movement that is like where they don't want that in their, what I mean? He's not a part of that, so you know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you already know what I'm saying. I've had a long day. I'm tired, but I just had to speak on this because it is funny that I've been talking about Lefty and then this comes out. There's been too much shit that's come out. Like, supposedly he was gonna go diss bands in Northern Cali that might get put out, but man, what he did in this is my personal view. This is my personal opinion, and it don't have nothing to do with organizations or whatever. In my personal opinion, he shouldn't. Whatever he's into, that's his business. But don't put it out in the public. Don't be that naive to where you think you could just post that or have that on Instagram and people not diss you or talk shit about you or clown on you. Like, you could have kept that. I hate to say it like this, but like, what's that saying, the old school saying? You're in the closet, like, kind of try to stay in the closet. I know that sounds bad, but like, he, not even that. He should just kept it private and in secret, and then that's his business if that's his get down. Like I said, it, it's not like I don't get it, that ain't my thing, but if that's somebody else's thing, I'm not gonna hate them or have prejudice against them because of their sexual preference. You know what I mean? When I was religious, I would have thought that way, but we're not talking about religion and how I'm a non-believer. We're not gonna go back through that whole thing, um, because I got a lot of different videos of why I'm an atheist or why I'm, like the stuff I've talked about in my videos, like why I'm not Democrat or Republican, why I'm an independent, progressive, anarchist, all this shit. Like, why I'm an atheist, why I left my old life, street life. I just trying to live a normal life. Like, I've talked about a lot of this bullshit in other videos, so I'm not going to explain it all in one video about Lefty. Anyways, yeah, wrong move from Lefty. Shouldn't have done it. Should have kept it in secret, only because of the stuff that he's dealing with. You know what I mean? But had he have been somebody else, like I keep using Machine Gun Kelly. I keep using Machine Gun Kelly because I keep seeing Machine Gun Kelly after he got dissed by Eminem and fucking. I never even talked about that on YouTube. I should have talked about that. Maybe I think I did. Actually, I did. I think I covered the Kill Shot, the song, and I talked about the Rap God thing. But dude just went on full pink and wearing all kinds of dresses or all kinds of weird shit. So I guess in my mind, when I keep seeing that about Machine Gun Kelly, I keep linking him into that category where he would be caught doing that shit. But anyways, like, if it was him, it wouldn't matter because he's not a part of anything, or he's not, nobody would give a fuck. He wouldn't be like, but because it's Lefty and because who he is and what he stands for, yeah, it's frowned upon. So in that case, he probably should have don't do it, or if that's your get down, man, just be, move in silence. Do your thing without the public knowing, because that's gonna create a lot of hate your way, and you already got people dissing you, as far as the whole bands thing. So it's just gonna give them more ammo, and there needs to be unity instead of division. And that's the whole thing that we're seeing right now in this country, with politics, with gangs, with rappers, with uh, religious, non religious. The list goes on. Fascist, anti fascist. The whole fucking spectrum, man, of every fucking thing. Religion, politics, everything. Music, genres, fucking streets, hoods, different hoods. All these fucking people that view themselves as the enemy, and it's just fucking divided. When we're all fucking human, we all eat, sleep, and shit, and hopefully we make a better life for ourselves and fucking make money, get up off our asses and hustle. I add that into the equation, but we all sleep and shit and eat, sleep and shit and bleed red. You know what I mean? We're all human beings. You know what I mean? So we're all everybody has different opinions. I view mankind as all equal. And, you know, like we're like when we're talking about different people, men, women, politics, religion, colors, race, all that. We're all equal. You know, people or they have their differences because they don't think that they're equal. They think that they're higher, and then this group thinks that they're higher, and this it's just division, man. And going back to the politics and then the street shit, like it's all division, and we should all come together. And I hate to say it, like hold hands and sing kumbaya, kumbaya. I can't speak tonight because I'm fucking exhausted. But we should all have not just respect for our fellow humans, but actually relate that we're not all as different as we think we are, and we shouldn't be divided. And we're actually stronger, united. United. Everybody knows that. The like you want to say the rasa, you know, the the brown community, the black community, Democrats, Republicans, religion, all those groups will say that they're stronger together than divided. Why not all of us together through all those differences of different religions and different races, and why can't we be strong all united? But I don't want to go off preaching off of a video about Lefty being in love with some transgender. You know what I mean? So is this looking bad for Lefty? Yeah, it is. He already got dissed. I think he's trying to hold strong. You know, maybe he's going to put out a diss on bands. I didn't think I was going to be talking about this, but here we go again. And he shouldn't have been caught doing that. And now he's going to be exposed. And it's probably not going to be good for his career. But the rap career is not as important as what goes down in the streets and what's real. The organizations and the street shit, that shit's real. And when you do shit that they don't approve of, or that, you know, that they don't want, then that's when you're dealing with some serious consequences. And that should be his biggest concern and worry. And, you know, I wouldn't want that for anybody. You know what I mean? But we'll see how it plays out, man. I want good for Lefty and his career. Just like I want good for everybody, not just the North Daniels and the North Daniel rappers, but everybody, you know, everybody, even in Texas. I don't really talk about Texas, but I don't really have to talk about that because Mexican OT has good traction, and he has a good, you know, record and everything like that. So, but everybody should be doing good and coming up and making the best, you know what I mean? Doing the best that they can, and I wish the best for everybody. So, but that was just my 2 cents on it. Make it real short and simple. Like again, I said, it don't matter to me. I don't give a damn what he does, but I just thought it was funny that they exposed that. And since we talked about him in the past, bringing it up, that it probably ain't good for him or his career. So, but we'll see what happens. There ain't no way to really deny that on his part. It's pretty much there, and now people know it. Obviously, Baldacci knows it from LA because he commented. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Let's just hope and wish for the best for our boy Lefty, man. The dude Lefty. He seems like a good dude, man. I'm gonna have to check out his music. You know, because I'm an open-minded person. I like all genres and music and different things. So we'll see about that. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let's all forget about the bullshit. Let's enjoy our lives and let's come together and be united. Subscribe.